Hey guys, welcome to the Profit Channel. This is where we profit from different investments like stocks, crypto, real estate, classic cars like what you see behind me. Today, though, we're going to talk about Palantir and some new developments that have been occurring with them. They have just recently added some federal advisory board just to seal some more deals. They have a deal that's pending that they're trying to seal. It's for $313 million worth with NHS. NHS is the British health organization, or something like that. Like I think they're health related. So they're trying to seal that deal, and it's a huge deal because $313 million is a lot of money, and these guys have been securing these contracts left and right, which is amazing. And just recently, they uh, extended their contract with CDC, which is the disease monitoring and control. They do a whole bunch of disease related work, which is great. So these guys are doing all the right things in the right spaces. In my opinion, they are in the right space because if you're investing into Palantir, just keep in mind that you're investing into AI, artificial intelligence. You're investing into cybersecurity. You're investing into data. And as you know, these are all hot sectors, like especially data. Data is apparently the new oil. So if, all these companies, they have data, but they can't do really much about it, or they don't know what to do with it. This is where Palantir comes in, and it basically builds like a digital twin to your company, and it can forecast things. It can tell you what you need to do right now in order to succeed later. There's a lot of complications with this company as far as understanding this company, but it's in a way it's complicated, but it's also very simple. Like, I know what they do. I have explained it in my previous videos what they do. They are recently just they're being recommended by Google, and that is huge because Google doesn't really just recommend anyone, as far as I know. I run two businesses. One of them here, I run a construction business. One of them, and the way that Google will recommend you is usually through PPC, which is pay per click. So you have to pay for that to be able to come on the first page, and or you do SEO, which is search engine optimization, and that's how you basically come on the first page, and that's how Google usually would recommend you, or through Google Maps. But for them to actually recommend these guys off of those platforms, it's saying something, right? It's huge for Palantir. I mean, imagine just one of my businesses being recommended by Google, and Google being one of the huge search engines, if not the only one, because 98% of the search happens on Google. So that is huge. And they are also about to introduce a whole bunch of new products on Apollo. Now Apollo, so they have Gotham, obviously, right? And then now Apollo, they're going to be introducing a whole bunch of new products. So I'm really looking forward to that. They're also in space now, so they've made some partnerships with these companies that are launching satellites, and you can't really do much if you're just launching satellites unless you have someone like Palantir that can make use of that. So what does that mean? So basically, if they have some satellites, and that is very crucial right now, especially right now. So we'll use one of the examples, like what's going on in Ukraine. Um, if they were using the satellites, they can see where the Russian uh, tanks are coming from, where they're going to, what's happening, are they leaving this area, how many weapons they're bringing in. So these are all very crucial stuff that Palantir is able to do, and they are so important that they were called in to deal with the whole migration system. So they are actually helping with the immigration, and they're sorting out the data and making it easier for the countries to accept these guys. They're just doing a lot of important work, in my opinion, that is very useful right now for what's going on. So as Alex Karp had put it, when actually in a chaos type of environment, Palantir actually does well. So I like that. Um, they're also uh, one of their competitors, which is C3 AI, has dropped like 73% in the last 10 months. And this was one of the like bigger competition that they had, and they're burning through a lot of cash. And now when you compare that to Palantir, these guys have like over $2 billion in cash. They have $50 million in gold that they bought just before this whole thing happened. Um, that's huge. That to me is a company that is smart enough to see these things coming, and they're hedging themselves. And they're also hedging themselves by buying a lot into the specs. Some of these spec companies that they've bought into, one of them was these companies that made these robotic uh, planes that would be used as taxi robots or whatever, taxi planes or whatever you want to call them. They just got an order for a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of developments that's been going on with them. They just recently partnered up with Sarcos Robotics, and it's a company that basically it's so crucial. They so imagine if you're trying to lift something, and if it's like 500 pounds, myself right now I can't do that, right? Because 500 pounds is a lot of weight. So they've Sarcos Robotics, they've built something where you can lift the 500-pound weight, um, as if you were lifting something that's like 20 pounds. So that's gonna be great. Um, to me, that's huge uh, in the future. Now, couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So one of the mistakes that usually people make when it comes to investing is that when you find a good company, like you see, Palantir is a really good company. All these things are going on. I've mentioned the other things that are with them, that are happening in my previous videos. Now, two mistakes that people make, two crucial mistakes, is that when they find a really good company that they've done a lot of research and they believe in it, like Palantir, is that they sell too early, right? They sell too soon. So if this thing goes up to like 30 bucks, people start taking profits, they sell. The second mistake that they make is that they didn't buy enough. So these are the two things that are game changing when it comes to stock market. So if you find a good company, you should not sell too soon, and you should have bought more. These the should have bought more, that's a different story, because depending on your budget, maybe you weren't able to buy enough. But once you've bought enough, and if this thing is going down and you have some cash and you can add more, that regret later when it goes to like from 20 bucks to 100 bucks to 200 bucks to even more, um, would be that you've added enough and that you haven't sold too early. So those are the two mistakes that people make. They sell too early and they never bought enough. So don't make that mistake with Palantir. Palantir is here to stay. I think they're going to be one of the companies that every corporation would have to adopt to in order to succeed, because it's just going to be a system that can help them figure out things. It can help them make more money by utilizing their data. It's by suggesting future outcomes and things like that that Palantir already does. So yeah, I'm invested in Palantir. I'm gonna be invested in Palantir. I'm so happy that C3 AI is dropping like a fly. They shouldn't be like, and just look at it. Like CDC has extended their contract with Palantir. How come they haven't done that with Snowflake, or how come they haven't done that with C3 AI? It's because they know Palantir is the way to go. So that gives me a lot of hope, and it's visual. It's something that I can see happening. These guys are securing millions of dollars in contracts with governments. They are obviously with the foundry. They're helping businesses. That's a whole new segment that can explode from here. That's huge. That's gonna be big, a lot bigger than we think. And with all the troubles that's going on around the world, I think this company is only going to be doing better because all the governments around the world that are with us um, are going to be adopting these guys. So there's going to be more adoption. They're going to be getting more contracts. There are a few things that I don't like about them, like, their insider selling, their employee compensation when it comes to stocks, but they're taking care of that, obviously. And the reason why they're selling a lot of stocks is because for 17 years that this company was private, Alex Karp and these guys, they haven't made any money. So this is their chance to cash out some money. And that's what the purpose of most companies that go public is, for them to cash out, right? Like you have a company, you work hard, and when it goes public, you are able to take some money out of it. But Peter Thiel, that's one of the main investors in here, or one of the founders, he's still in it, and he's not selling. Only Alex Karp is selling. And Alex Karp, in my opinion, I have mixed feelings about this guy. He's a smart guy. He's majored in sociology or something like that, or psychology or something, and now I think they should have someone else running the company that is more familiar with software. Um, but that's my opinion. I just don't want to sell too early when this thing goes up. And right now, everything is down. The whole market is down. So obviously, Palantir is down as well. Great time to add, in my opinion. But just these are my opinions. They're not financial advice, so you can't do or follow what I'm saying. You have to do your own research. But at the same time, I really have a lot of conviction in this company, and I'm going to be holding it for a long time. Um, and all these reasons that are coming up, all these contracts that they're signing, hundreds of $1 million in contracts, they're governmental agencies that are renewing their contracts. These are all um, good things that are happening. There's a lot of more products that they're going to come up with that we don't know what they are yet. But I'm sure that they're going to be very beneficial for a lot of businesses or governmental agencies, and especially with what happened right now with the war. I think that they're going to be um, even more popular now. A lot of more Western or the NATO um, countries are going to be adopting these guys, right? Because they can only help you. They right now they're the ones that are out there. They're not telling us much on what they're doing, but they're right now in the mix of it. they're seeing through these satellites that they're making connections with, that are using, and they're basically, they're satellites out there that they're using to keep an eye on what's going on and report it back, and make that into a data that can be utilized for some of these companies. So I mean, there's so much that I can talk about this company, but I don't want to make this video too long right now. Yeah, so if you like this video, it's been helpful to you in any way, please make sure you like and subscribe. That's going to help a lot. Please make sure you share the video. Let me know also if you own any Palantir stock, or if you're thinking about owning it, put it in the comment below. Give me some, maybe give me some uh, conflicting arguments, that if you think I'm wrong in some way, that whatever that I've said so far. So all those to be discussed. But all right, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video.